Hi, David. How are you?
Good. How you doing? How you
I'm
doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I feel like I've been given a ticket to like this phenomenal event, being able to sit here with you in your presence this morning,
Oh man.
it's just, I mean, I've been like a little kid in the candy shop waiting to have this opportunity to talk with you.
Oh
When do
wow.
you get a chance to really just sit and have you just like all to myself? I feel like
Mhm.
I got you all to myself. But of course, audience, I know I'm sharing him with you. Let me tell you about David. Okay. David is self taught. He taught himself how to play the piano. And I just think that is such a wonderful gift. I mean, that is truly a gift. And to recognize that you were gifted something like that. We all have gifts, but a
Mhm.
lot of folks don't tap into their gifts. And for you to tap into your gift and then not only know how to play piano, but in such a way you could teach others to play and then be the co-founder of an app. I mean, of all things, an app that will teach you how to play piano.
Mhm.
So I don't want to leave anything out. So I'm going to leave it up to you, David, and you let everybody know what it is that you do and what you do, how it changes the lives of folks. And it is so, I mean, I'm so excited because what you do is just like right on spot right now,
Mhm.
something that is truly needed. So,
Yeah.
David, let us know what it is that you do.
Yeah, definitely. And first of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you, Dr. Gilbert. This is something I'm looking forward to as well. And thanks for that introduction. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing piano for a while now. I started when I was about 10, and I basically have always loved the sound of it. Anytime my parents would play any music that had any piano in it, I'd always be like, "Ooh, what's that? What's that sound? What's
Mm,
that instrument?" And when I learned that it was a piano, then I was hooked. I was like, "All right, well, this is something I need to learn how to play because I love it so much." And um, growing up in a musical family, I was fortunate to have a musical ear and be able to pick up basically music by ear. I could hear a song
mhm.
played and I can go and kind of transfer it on the piano. This was something that happened overnight. It took a little bit of time of working at it, but eventually I got to a point where I was pretty good at being able to pick it up quickly. And I feel like music is just so important. It was a big part of my life, a big part of my family's life, a big part of the lives of a lot of people in our lives.
Mhm.
And so I knew when I grew up that was always going to be a part of me, but I also wanted to share that experience and share that power with other people as well. And so, long story short, I ultimately ended up working with my business partner now on creating an application that is designed to teach people how to play the piano so that they could also experience the power of music, the power of playing an instrument. Um, and as you pointed out, especially this year when a lot of people were at home
Mhm.
and looking for things to do, a lot of people turned to our application. It's called Playground Sessions. And
Mhm.
it's basically an app that you can have on your Mac, your Windows, your iPad, your Surface tablet.
Mhm.
And it combines popular songs with video tutorials. One of the teachers in the app, I'm actually one of the teachers in it myself, but we also have, I don't know for all you jazz cats out there, Harry Connick Jr. is one of the teachers in the application. Um, Quincy Jones is one of the co-creators of the application. So we have a lot of jazz influence there. But we have video tutorials. Everything is rooted in teaching people how to play using popular songs instead of the more traditional route, which a lot of people kind of experience, which is you got to learn your scales, you got to learn classical music and all that stuff first. We try to skip all that. We go straight to the music that people love and use that as a foundation to teach them how to play. And then we just use technology. We take advantage of all the tools we have now in this day and age of real-time feedback, scores, you
Mhm.
earn points, you earn stars, you earn free songs, all that kind of stuff. So we really just try to package it into a very fun and engaging experience because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take for people to kind of stick with it and practice. They got to enjoy the process as much as they enjoy the end result. So I'm very fortunate to be working on that. And as you pointed out, touching the lives of many people, hopefully in the way that learning piano for myself touched my life.
Well, you know what they say, music comes the salvage beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not just a cliche. It is true.
Mm-hmm.
Music and dance, you know, just you can get lost in that. That can be very meditative, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Folks that, you know, I'm a therapist and a life coach, and folks that are not able to communicate in certain ways. I've noticed that we could play music and it really transform a person's spirit, their energy. I have seen folks that were in like a catatonic state, and you can play music, and you can see them, you know, like come to life, you know, come to life.
Yeah.
And so this is like really life changing. And I don't know about other people, but for me, I've been trying to find something to do during this time that we've been in. I mean, I have lots to do with my work, but when you look for something else to do, a hobby or something personally fulfilling,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to do something other than sit in uncertainty, and learning how to play a piano or learning how to just do anything that will take your mindset from that place of I don't know what's next, you know, waiting on the next shoe to drop
Mm-hmm.
is really, really important. And
Yep.
I believe I might become one of your students because I was looking for something to do that's different. I've done so many things, but I signed up for a belly dance class, you know. Now,
Okay.
I don't know what we're going to do with that.
Uh-huh.
I signed up to take a belly dance class because you can take it online.
Yep.
You get me? And
Yep.
so now it's an app. And then here you are with this. Man, this is just wonderful. Thank you for what it is that you do and what is just different. It's just so different. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be sharing this. But when I think about, okay, so now you've done this since you were a kid,
Mhm.
and this is something that you connect to in your everyday life. In this year that we've had, 2020, of course, COVID jumps out. You know, it just jumps out. When I ask folks what's been the most difficult, you know, most people jump out and talk about COVID. Well, yes, and it changed layers and layers and layers of things. COVID was just like a big onion, you know, in the middle of the room, and you keep pulling layers of it back, and there's always something there, something more, you know. And
Yep.
so I wondered how different folks, you know, like yourself and like me, what are we doing as change makers? We're always doing something, but what are we doing with our challenges, and what have our wins been in 2020? So if you want to share, if you could share with me what has been a significant challenge for you during this year,
Mhm.
what has been a notable win for you
Mhm.
during this year, and how can you take that challenge and that win and create a bridge that will add value, that connect them to add value in your life in 2021? Because
Mhm.
so many people are saying they can't wait for this year to be over. And I say, for one, what's the rush? And what are you going to take with you? You can't jump out of 2020 into 2021 and think you can just leave the pain behind. How can we use that to add value?
Yep.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like for myself, like a lot of the viewers, I'm sure everyone in the world during this year, the biggest challenge was just adjusting to the new normal. And I mean, for myself, living in New York City, which was, I think once it got here to the States, was the first big spot that was hit with it. And I mean, living in New York, it's already normal in New York is already different from what normal is everywhere else in the country, in most places in the world. We rely on public public entities to get around, just to live. We use the subway. We're packed with all these other people in there. We use cabs. Now we have like Uber and we have Lyft and everything, but our world is so ingrained with everyone else. And so once this hit and we were like, okay, you can't be with anyone else. You have to be by yourself. You have to avoid this person. You have to avoid that thing. That was a huge adjustment living in New York. I mean, just like everywhere else, but in New York especially.
Right.
Can't take the subway. Okay, well, how am I going to get from point A to point B? I can't take a cab. I can't use Uber. I can't do all these things. And I mean, we walk, but we could only walk so far. You know what I mean? I mean, that was the biggest thing for myself, is just adjusting to what this new world was and trying to figure out what is the best way to continue to get everything done that I needed to get done when I couldn't rely on the ways of doing it that I was relying on. So, I mean, I don't remember how long it took, but I mean, it was an adjustment over time. Just, okay, I can't do this. I have to replace it with that. I can't do this, replace it with that. And I feel like for myself, both personally and professionally, it's, you know, we can't go into the office, can't work with the team. I'm fortunate to be in a position where I have work that didn't have to stop because of COVID. I didn't have to get shut down. I was still able to work and get things done that I needed to get done. I just had to do it from home. So I'm very thankful and fortunate for that. But even with that came as challenges. Okay, all the teams spread out in different places. How do we connect with each other? We have people in different parts of the country. How do we making sure that we're all staying together and being efficient during this time? We got to start using more Zoom. We got to start using more Google Hangouts and just be better at communicating from a distance. And so those were definitely the biggest challenges, just adjusting. But I feel like through that, speaking for myself personally, I feel like I was able to improve my ability to just adjust. You know, I've always kind of felt like, and I think maybe part of this is rooted in just being a musician, just being flexible and being able to kind of go with the flow. But I feel like this year definitely tested that the most. Just being able to kind of roll with the punches, if you will, and be able to make the most out of everything that was going on. And the word that comes to mind for me is just resilience, is just being able, despite everything that's happening, just keep pushing through and keep working and keep moving with the confidence that everything is going to work out and you're going to find a way. So I feel like that was definitely a cornerstone for me this year. And I'm sure a lot of people had to lean on that as well to get through it. One of the things that I feel was a win kind of coming out of that was knowing that this was going to be a tough year and knowing that a lot of people were looking for things to do while they were home. You know, a few months into COVID, once we realized that this thing wasn't going away overnight, with Playground, we decided to take on a big initiative of just trying to teach as many people as we could, even those who didn't have an active membership with us, how to play a song and perform that song together virtually. And that was something that took us a few months to put together. And in the end, we were able to deliver on that promise. We got, how many people? We got like over, I don't remember the exact number, but we got a lot of people in on this. And the goal was to basically help give people a positive experience through this.
Yes.
And based on the feedback we got, based on how many people were able to kind of learn the music and play it, we were able to deliver that. And I know for myself, that's the biggest thing that stands out to me of what happened this year, just being able to deliver that for people and give them this positive music experience that I'm sure that they'll remember for the rest of their lives in a year that they probably want to forget. And so, I mean, just in terms of just kind of marrying the two, just the resolve, the resilience that you had to kind of really lean into this year and trying to find ways to help other people through it by delivering. I know for myself, it was an experience through the application, but there's lots of other things that people can do to just try to help people through tough times like this and help give them something to stay positive about. I feel like those are some of the main things that I took away from this year that I know that I'm going to continue to use moving forward into the next year. Just really stay focused on just being resilient, stay focused on just keep pushing through, being positive, and just looking out for everyone else as best as I can, because this is something that we're all in together. We're all experiencing it different ways, but we could all just kind of lean on each other to get through it as best as we can.
And that's what, thank you, David. That's what one of the greatest things I think that has come out of this. Folks now have to do more of a group think. More is not so much me, my, it's like us and we, because it doesn't matter who you are or where you may land on this globe right now. We're all being impacted by the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all being impacted in such similar ways that it's almost like one body. We're not different. Mm-hmm. So, like you say, first make the adjustment, accept that something has occurred here. You know, your challenge is something has occurred. This is something different. My normal everyday take for granted, get up and do, the carpet has been snatched out. I can't just get up and do, but I must continue to fly. So then you embrace that and say, how can I continue to do that? Like you say, with the resiliency, you know, resiliency is just courage, just willingness to do something different, you know, not to just sit still and quit. Although it feels as if this year put us in a position to stop. For me, it put us in a position to think, to grow, to embrace, to say, okay, what else is this? You know, there's got to be more to life than this brown box. What is in that green box over there? And so that's what made it so exciting. And then to be able to give back. When I think about what you're doing, like you said, to teach one song, do you know how encouraging that is for someone that feels as if I can't play the piano? What am I going to do? I can't work. I'm useless. You know, my life has tumbled in on me. Mm-hmm. Just being able to do that one song has given so many people the encouragement to just try to do something else. Mm-hmm. They might never play another song, but it lets them know I can. And if I put my mind to it, I will. And so that's what I'm taking from your experience and what you did that would add value in 2021 is just encouraging others to know that they can. And if they make the decision, just like you did teaching yourself, they will. And that will go across the board in any type of anything you ever will embrace in your life. Mm-hmm. So David, thank you again for that. For those of us that are out here, like me, now my antennas are up. Let me go get this app. Where can we find you? Where can we find the app? Can you give us more information on that?
Yeah, definitely. So keeping in contact with me, pretty simple. I try to keep my name on everything the same. So just David Sides. David Sides is the handle on Instagram, it's on Twitter, David Sides Facebook. You can go to my site, davidsides.com. The application to teach piano is called Playground Sessions, 2 words. And you could just check that out by going to playgroundsessions.com, or you can follow Playground Sessions on any of the social platforms as well. And we definitely got to get you set up. We got to get you set up with the app because I want to get you playing the piano.
That's a promise. If you get me set up, I promise I'm going to learn it because this is something I want. I'm so excited. Like I say, 2020 brought me in the challenge, the stillness. It brought me excitement. It brought me excitement to say, oh, okay, I've done this. Even what I do in my work, I've been doing this for these many years. What else is it out there? How else can I deliver? I did a similar thing that you did with your music. when COVID set in the beginning, like I think a couple weeks into it, I set up a check-in and chat, which was a free Zoom daily, every single day for 1 hour. I was available via Zoom, where anyone that wanted to just check in and say, hey, how you doing? I'm here alone, just so folks could become connected, just so folks could talk to each other. I mean, I was in touch with folks all in Ireland. So it was like, oh my gosh, this thing is reaching all across the world. I spoke with a kid in Ireland that was like 13. And to this day, I'm still in touch with that person and their family. And it came through just trying to make that connection and say, you're not alone. You can do this. We just need to connect with each other, So thank you so much again for being here, giving me the honor to interview you for Critical Conversations. And for those of you that don't know who I am Dr. Tanya Gilbert. And you can find me very similarly. I keep everything simple at Dr. Tanya Gilbert on all social media platforms. My website is drtanyagilbert.com. And if you want to join in the conversations, go to my website, fill out the contact form, and in the little note box, just write, join the conversations. And I personally will respond to you. I don't pass it off. I personally will respond to each and every person. Also, if you want to make contact, you can find me on Instagram. I have a weekly advice column on every Wednesday and Saturday, and it's called Ask Auntie. Now, I answer whatever you ask me, so you better be ready for the answer to your questions, okay? I'm that auntie that you talk to, when you're afraid to ask your parents, because auntie is going to answer the questions. Again, thank you. Thank you to all my listeners. And you are in Critical Conversations. Your story must be told. Talk to you soon. I have